The Royal Society is the oldest and most august scientific body in the world. It goes back to the 17th century. Sir Isaac Newton was one of its presidents. They had the portraits of all these heroes of science. But this year, the meeting in late 16 was called by leading evolutionary biologists who realized that neo-Darwinism, the standard textbook theory of evolution that we all learn in high school and college biology courses, is in serious trouble. In fact, the opening talk of the conference was by a very prominent Austrian evolutionary biologist named Gerd Müller, whose talk was titled "The Explanatory Deficits of the Modern Synthesis," which is a jargon term for neo-Darwinism. His talk described most poignantly the inability of the mutation natural selection mechanism to generate genuine novelty. He said the mechanism lacks creativity. It doesn't explain the origin of major morphological innovations, the origin of new form. Pretty interesting, because you think back to Darwin's theory, when he explained the origin of new species, he was explaining the origin of new forms of life. So you have leading modern Darwinists saying, theory's not getting it done anymore. The mutation selection mechanism lacks creative power to explain the most important things in the history of life. It does a good job of explaining the small-scale variations, the little finch beaks that get bigger and smaller in response to weather patterns, the peppered moths whose coloration turned dark and light and dark again in response to varying levels of industrial pollution. No problem with that. But explaining where birds and insects come from in the first place, or animal body plans, or still less, the origin of the very first life, we need a new theory, said these gathered evolutionary biologists. That's where they were there.